Want you back where you belong. Want you back where you belong. Back where you belong.
Now, first, tell us who you are.
I'm William Costello. I'm the grandfather of the baby that you're trying to help.
Oh, right. You're the proud grandfather.
And
you were there for the process, and I think they lived
tried
here?
to be. I mean, I helped move her in 3 days before she went into labor. She moved in here, you know.
So when you and William left, and the family all left to go to the hospital, Women's and Babies, you all thought you were going there to have this beautiful baby and bring the baby home for a family.
We thought it was going to be a big happy thing, and it turned into a nightmare. You know, an hour into it, none of our family was allowed back in the hallway. That night she was in labor. She didn't want none of our family in the room with her. You know, and security came out and basically told us all. They tried to even stop my son from going in the room that night that she was delivered. So that's how it all started. You know, I expected to hand out cigars, take people in to see the baby.
And so they cut you right out.
Yep.
And your wife, the grandmother.
Yeah.
And how'd that make you feel?
Horrible. I mean, like, we didn't even matter.
Were you surprised how easy it was and how fast it happened?
Yeah, I was. I couldn't believe they could push somebody's whole family away, you know.
And then all of a sudden the police knock at your door. Tell me about how that happened.
Well, first the family showed up, right, and they knocked on the door maybe 5 minutes, and I didn't answer, you know, because it's not my house, it's not my stuff. I don't know what goes and what stays.
You weren't feeling really good about that family.
Not at all, not at all. I mean, they just show up out of the blue for one thing, and we had just moved stuff in the weekend before.
And your understanding when she went in the hospital, she was coming home here?
To live here, that's the whole purpose. I mean, I took the whole day to move her in here, in that little truck. I didn't know they were trying to take the baby out of county, but when I found out, that's when we decided we weren't going to let them in here and stuff.
Right. And basically what
they were trying to steal the baby, you know. They were trying to... She was supposed to come here and live, right? And that's what we expected when the hospital signed her out. We expected her and the baby to be here. And when I found out that wasn't happening, you know, I just wasn't going to lay down and give their stuff back right away.
Yeah, you didn't know what you could do, but you...
Exactly. I mean, I didn't know what could be done, but I thought her stuff is here. That's where the baby should be. All the baby stuff, the furniture, the clothes and the diapers, everything was here.
Let me back up. During the whole process, did anybody from Lancaster Women's and Babies Hospital approach you and try to understand your position and help you?
No.
No advocates at all?
The only people I dealt with out there was security, and they were trying to keep us out.
So the welcome wagon out there, their sensitive, feely, touchy people were the security people.
Yeah, right. I mean, even they said it kills us to keep you away from your family. But this is our job.
But they didn't send any counselors?
No.
Any mediators?
No.
Psychiatrists?
No.
Counselors? Nothing?
Nothing.
How's that make you feel?
Stonewalled, you know? An outsider, you know? It made me mad. I was pissed off, you know? I wanted to go in there and take that baby, you know, and be done.
So everybody is swarming around the mother. There's plenty of care for her.
Oh, absolutely, you know? Even us, we were trying to be there for her.
But the hospital has all kind of personnel.
Oh,
any possible contingent there to care for her in every possible pampering manner.
Exactly.
But for you and the father...
There's nothing.
And tell me then...
They left it up to a security guard to tell my son he wasn't allowed to see his own kid, rather than having like a chaplain or something, you know?
Right. No concern, no empathy?
They don't care. It's a money business.
So the police are here?
They're worried about, you know, somebody coming back and saying they didn't do something right for the mother and baby, you know, covering their ass with just the mother and baby. The father doesn't matter, you know.
So would you recommend Women's and Babies Hospital?
No, I'd rather have a baby at home on the couch, to tell you the truth.
So you don't think a father and his family are safe to going into Women's and Babies and expect
Not after that. Not at all.
Okay, Gigi.
Hello. So then you got the police banging in the door. You said they were here for how long?
The family was here for about an hour and a half. The police were here about 45 minutes of it.
And they're banging on the door.
Oh, they were relentless.
Good. And what do they want? They want you to help them?
They want me to help them take her stuff out, you know, steal my grandchild.
So you might never see your grandson?
No, at that point I'd only seen him for 5 minutes, you know. And I didn't know if I'd ever see him again. I let him get 2 weeks worth of clothes for her and the baby that day, and the car seat.
So So you helped them,
Right.
and you kind of helped them take your grandson.
Yeah.
How'd that feel?
Not good. I mean, what was I gonna do? Have the police here all the time? You know.
Were they intimidating? Tell me about the police attitude.
They were beating on the door and they were hollering in the mail slot. Oh, this is the city police. Open up. We know you're in there.
This is my first great nephew. It's my brother's first grandson. It's my mom's first great grandchild. So it was the first.
And when you went into the hospital, that's how you felt? Tell us how you felt when you went to the women's and babies
excited, you know, waiting, you know, just wanted the baby to be born. Well, there were 5 passes allowed for the delivery room, and 4 of the passes were for her family, and our family only got 1 pass. So when she went into the labor and delivery room after the triage, we got in trouble from security for passing badges because the badge had to be signed in and out. And I explained to the nurse I wasn't aware of that. I said, you know, 4 of her family members are in there and our family only has 1 pass, so we were just exchanging, you know, swapping passes to have a chance to see her, you know, before the baby was actually born, because obviously Will was going to be the one in the delivery room.
In the hospital?
In women's and babies, yes.
And what did they say to you?
That we weren't allowed to just exchange passes like that. They had to be signed in and out.
So how was their attitude towards you?
Pretty crappy. Yeah, it wasn't, you know, I didn't feel welcomed because I was the father's side of the family.
And was that pretty obvious from the time you got into Women's and Babies Hospital?
Absolutely, yes. We went back, we signed in, we went back into the room, and Will asked, where's the paperwork? And she's like, don't worry about it. When we went back to visit the baby at 12:30, 1 o'clock on the 7th, when Andrea plopped the baby down on the bed, she came raging out into the hallway, Will, give me my effing shit back, and blah, 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 blah. And I said, I went out in the hallway as well with Will. And then Andrea she come flying out of the room, and then that's when I went flying out into the hallway as well, because Will was out there by himself. So I wanted to be out there with him and have a witness other than someone from the hospital because of all the trouble we've had with security. You know? So the nurse took Andrea back into the room, and obviously security was called a 2nd or 3rd time on Will. So security came, and we explained what was going on, and the head nurse told us that fathers have no rights unless the mother gives them rights if they're unwed.
How'd that feel when they told you that?
It felt awful because, you know, they want fathers to step up nowadays and be more than just a deadbeat dad other than paying child support. And then there's someone like my nephew who's willing to be there for every moment of his son's life, and being told that has no rights whatsoever. You know, it hurt. It hurt us all. I'm sure it hurt Will the most, but it hurts us too.
Did you feel powerless?
Absolutely. Yeah, because there was nothing we could do. And security even said, you know, I'm sorry I have to tell you this, but...
So you're dealing with security?
Yes. That was at the 2nd or 3rd time we had dealt with security in this process.
No counselors, no mediators? No
Nothing.
Chaplain?
No chaplain came.
Did they seem like they had any concern?
No.
For you and your family?
No, I mean, Will asked for the crib card. If she could make a copy, the head nurse, if she could make a copy of the crib card. And she said no, she couldn't disclose that information to him because if Andrea is not willing to let him sign the birth certificate, then he has no rights.
Oh, my inspiration.
Good coach.
And he helped you write up the petition? And
all of it.
Would anybody else come forward yet to help you?
Nope, just you guys. You guys are the sole people.
Hey, we're glad to be here, man. Look forward to meeting you, baby.
I know, I can't wait for him to arrive.
He's here.
Come on.
He's here.
Wow. Oh, you're so exhausted, huh? Did you have a big day?
He's been passed around like 3 times now.
There we go. Them eyes are open. Oh, you know who got you.
It disappears.